Al with Summit Racing Equipment here, and today we have a special guest with us. Jimmy Alund has flown over from Sweden to join us. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Jimmy's body of work, he started off the 2014 season driving for the Summit Racing KB crew, filling in for Greg Anderson, and he even was able to come away with a Wally. Jimmy, tell me a little bit about your experience driving for the KB crew and that win at the four wides.
Well, it was incredible to get that phone call from Greg when he needed a replacement guy. I thought he was kidding with me. He had to tell me like 3 times. It was, 7 o'clock a February evening. I was ready to close my business down and go home, and it was snowing a little bit outside, and here comes the phone call. So amazing.
Cool phone call to get. And then what was it like to fly over here and work with the KB crew?
It was, we clicked from the get-go, I think. It felt real nice, worked very well together, had a mutual understanding, at least from my side. I don't know what they think. But as the races went by and the testing and everything, I got more and more comfortable in the car and the way we did things together. Mm-hmm. And in Vegas, at the Summit race in Vegas, it actually started to go really well, and got to the semis where Jason beat me on a couple of thousands. Yeah, that was a fun race.
That's all right. But then you were able to come through on the four wides and come away with the win, and you happen to be the first European to ever come to the NHRA and get a Pro Stock Wally.
Yeah, that was amazing. We got there, and I was actually thinking that when we roll in through the gates that I got it as much of a chance to be able to win this thing as the other guys, because four wide is only made like once a year.
Yeah.
And I think this was the 5th one or 4th or 5th.
Something like that, yeah. It's a fairly new event.
Exactly, so they weren't more acquainted to that than what I actually was. So I had been there one time in 2010 with my own car and tested it out. And so as the weekend went by, I told Jason on Saturday night when we got home to his house, I told him on the way over there that my car feels like, might be a car that can win the race. So we felt comfortable.
That's always a good feeling, going into a race and thinking, you know what, I got a chance at this.
Yeah, and well, we won it, and amazing.
Great feeling. Now, you mentioned how you brought your car over and tried out the four wides. How does racing in the European League kind of differ from NHRA?
The good thing with NHRA is that you got the same people that does all the work at all these tracks. Mm-hmm. So every time you go roll in the gates to another event, you see the same guy that gives you a pit space. You have the same tech people, and the same track preps, same starter everywhere. So that's a big difference, though. In Europe, it's not a professional series like it is here in that manner. So I like that part of it.
Just that consistency.
The consistency with with all the people around it. So
that's always a good feeling to have, especially calm your nerves down a little bit and have the same guys around you.
Yeah, and after going to a couple of races, you know how everything works because it's the same at the next race. That's
always a good feeling. Well, now, this year in the European Series, you happen to come away with a Pro Stock Championship there as well.
Yeah.
So how did that kind of compare to winning that Wally at the four wides?
Well, this year over in Europe was pretty special because it came down to the last run of the last race in the final, and it was me or a very good friend of mine named Magnus that could win the championship. So we were only like 10 points between, and the round was worth 20. So that was cool, and we managed to win it.
That's a great feeling.
That was our 9th championship over there. And if I compare winning four wide at NHRA, four wide right now is the highest on my list.
Well, that's great to hear. Great to hear. And it's also great to hear that you had the success going back to Europe and was able to pick up basically where you started with the NHRA and carry that through your season.
Yeah, it was nice. We struggled a little bit in some part of the season, which is normal. I mean, you can't win everything. But we struggled a little bit, and it sure made it more interesting at the end, at the last race.
It sure did, yeah.
We managed to actually lower our own European record a little bit with a couple of thousands.
That's always great to have as well.
That's nice too.
Now, Now that racing season is done, both here in the U.S. as well as in Europe, what are you going to do in the off season to fill that time?
Well, there's plenty to do. You got to work on your pro stock program and get parts, ordering parts. Since I'm not in the States, it takes a little while to ship them over and get it, and so I need to plan ahead on that for next season and see where we stand. And I'm gonna go down to Jason and Greg tomorrow, and we're gonna have a meeting there and see what we can do better for next year. And
it's always good.
It's good to have KB horsepower on there.
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
That's a great partnership to have, and their experience, and you can always give them a call and ask, hey, these are the troubles I'm running into. What do you guys recommend? That's a great team to have on your side.
Exactly.
So, what else do you have planned here in the U.S. on your visit?
Right now, I was hanging around with Jason and Greg and the whole team at Reading. Just got back from Reading here, and I wanted to come over to you guys, and I got the tour, which was very impressive. I can tell you that.
Good.
So it was interesting, and now I'm going to drive down to Jason, and it has a real nice '65 Buick.
Okay.
Two-door hardtop, low mileage car, and I've been bugging him for a year or two to buy it, and it finally happened. So I'm gonna
Wonderful.
So I'm gonna go drive down there, pick up that car, keep going to Florida.
That sounds like a great plan.
It is
a great little
plan.
road trip.
Oh yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you coming by and making the trip here and checking everything out, and I wish you the best of luck next season and enjoy your road trip down to Florida.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun, Driving old cars is always fun.
Driving old cars is always fun, you're right.
Can you ship me parts while I'm on the way down there?
We certainly
if
can.
It stops or something?
Or if on your way down, you can stop in our Georgia store.
You got it. I'm going to pass that one.
You're going to pass it on the way to Florida. So it doesn't matter. We can either ship it to you there in Florida, or you can stop in Georgia.
So any troubles I'm going to have, I better have them around Georgia.
Well, it doesn't matter. Any troubles you have, you give us a call and we'll help you get back on the road.
I know you will.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
Thank you.